Hello friends, in our ongoing chapter, that is hydrocarbons, we have started alkanes. So in that case we saw a nomenclature of alkanes, what are alkanes, definitions of alkanes, hydrocarbons. Now in this lecture we will learn about classes of carbons and hydrogens which are present in the alkanes. Then we will see the physical properties of alkanes. Then we will see some preparative methods, laboratory preparative methods as well as isolation methods of the alkanes. So we will start with the classes of carbons and hydrogens. Friends, as we know that hydrocarbons are the organic compounds which contains only carbon and hydrogen. So alkanes are the hydrocarbons. So general molecular formula for alkanes is CnH2n plus 2, that is saturated hydrocarbons. Friends, so all carbons or all hydrogens present into the alkanes are not same. They are classified. So how they are classified? So first, that is primary carbons. Primary carbons. So what are primary carbons? So the carbons which are present into the alkanes which are attached to one more carbon atom, those carbon atoms are called as primary carbon atoms. So these are showed with this like this, primary carbons. Then what are the primary carbons? So which are attached to one more carbon atom. Those atoms are called as primary carbons. For example, here methane, CH3, CH3. So in this case, this carbon is attached to one more carbon atom. Then this is called as primary carbon. Then this is called as primary carbon. This carbon is also attached to only one more carbon atom. Then this carbon is also called as primary carbon. Next we will see the example. Suppose CH3, CH2, CH3. So this is propane. So in this case, this carbon atom is attached to the one more carbon atom. Then this is called as primary carbon. This methyl is also attached to the one more carbon atom, only one more carbon atom. Then this carbon is also called as primary carbon. So in this way, the carbon atoms which is attached to another one more carbon atom, that carbon atom is called as primary carbons. Now we'll see secondary. Carbons. So these are showed with like this, secondary carbons. Friends, secondary carbon atoms means the carbon atoms which are attached to two more carbon atoms. The carbon atom which is attached to another carbon atoms, that is called as secondary carbon. For example, see here, propane. This carbon atom attached to two more carbon atoms. See, याला पण अटॅच आहे आणि याला पण अटॅच आहे. या कार्बनला काय म्हणायचं? सेकंडरी कार्बन. This carbon is called as secondary carbon. For example, here CH3, CH2, CH3. Now in this case, see here, this carbon is attached to one more carbon atom. Then this is called as primary carbon. This carbon is also attached to one more carbon atom directly. Then this is also called as primary carbon. this carbon is attached to the only one more carbon atom, then this is called as primary carbon. See this one, this is attached to two more carbon atom, then this is called as secondary carbon. So in this way, if the carbon is attached to two more carbon atoms, then that is called as secondary carbon. Now we'll see what is tertiary carbon. So similar manner, what are tertiary carbons? The carbons which are attached to three another carbon atoms or carbons are called as tertiary carbon. For example, here this carbon attached to three more carbon atom, 1, 2 and 3, then this is called as tertiary carbon. This is called as tertiary carbon. Now for example, here this is the molecule CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2, CH3. Now in this case, this carbon is a primary carbon. This carbon is also primary carbon because attached to one more carbon only. This carbon is also primary carbon because this is attached to one more carbon only. While this carbon is called as secondary carbon because this is attached to two more carbon atoms. Right. This carbon is also called as secondary carbon because this is attached to two more carbon atom. हा कार्बन बघा याला अटॅच आहे आणि याला अटॅच. आता या कार्बनला काय म्हणणार बघा. This carbon is called as tertiary carbon because this carbon is attached to three more carbon atoms, 1, 2 and 3. So this is called as tertiary carbon. So what will be the quaternary? The carbon which is attached to the four more carbon atoms, that is called as quaternary carbon. For example, neopentane. Just yesterday we saw the structure CH3, C, CH3, CH3, CH3. Now here this is called as quaternary carbon atom because this carbon is attached to four more carbon atoms, while this carbon are called as primary carbon because these are attached to only one more carbon atoms. Only one more carbon atom. So in this way, primary carbon that attached to the one more carbon atom. So mostly terminal carbons are primary carbons. Here terminal जे कडेचे असतात ना एकदम एकच त्याला म्हणतात terminal. So these are the terminal carbons which are primary. While secondary carbons, the carbons which are attached to the two more carbon atoms, दोन दुसऱ्या कार्बनला अटॅच असतात त्याला म्हणतात secondary carbon. See here, this is the secondary carbon attached to these two carbon atoms. This is also secondary carbon attached to two carbon atoms. याला काय म्हणणार? Tertiary carbon because this is attached to three more carbon atoms, 1, 2 and 3. Now you learn about primary, secondary and tertiary. Now tell me, suppose we have a methane molecule. Suppose we have a methane molecule. Now tell me, this is primary, secondary or tertiary or quaternary? See the definition. If primary, one more carbon atom. If secondary, two more carbon atoms. If tertiary, three more carbon atoms. If quaternary, it's attached to the another four carbon atoms. But here there is no another atom. This is only single. So this class is different, and this is called as methane carbon. It's a unique one. This is not a primary, secondary or tertiary or anything. Most of the students calling him as a primary, but he is not a primary carbon, because primary means one more carbon atom attached to the one more carbon atom. So this is another carbon, that is methane. So this is for classes of carbons. So there are mainly three classes of carbons, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. So similarly hydrogens are likewise. What is hydrogen? So the hydrogens which are present on primary carbon are called as primary hydrogens. The hydrogens which are present on secondary carbons are called as secondary hydrogens. The hydrogens which are present on tertiary carbon are called as tertiary carbon. Then what about quaternary carbon? The hydrogen which are present on quaternary carbon? No. See here. If the quaternary carbon is there, there is no hydrogen at all, because it is attached to 4 more carbon atoms. Carbon valence is only 4. So there will be no quaternary hydrogens. Only primary, methyl hydrogen, primary, secondary and tertiary. So this is the classification of carbons and hydrogens. So in this way we will learn that all hydrogens or carbons are not same within the alkane molecules. So this is the classification of hydrogens and carbons. Now we will see the physical properties of alkanes. Friends, now we will learn physical properties of alkanes. Physical properties means some of the properties like boiling points, melting point, refracting index, their physical states. So all these are the physical properties. They also plays important role in our chemical reactions, preparations, preservations, and to understand the chemical properties of that particular substance. Friends, so we will learn one by one, that is physical properties of alkanes. So first we will see the state, means physical state of that alkanes. Friends, alkanes first 4 groups, that is C1 to C4 are gaseous, while C5 to C17 are colorless liquids. C5 to C17 are colorless liquids. C1 to C4 are colorless gases, while C18 and above are mostly colorless or white solids. So first 4 are gases, C5 to C17 almost liquids, and C18 above, then these are the colorless or white solids. So this is the physical states. Then we will see their boiling points and melting points. So these are the physical constant, boiling points and melting points. So as we know that as the number of carbon increases, means methane, ethane, butane, like methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, all further, not only decane only, again monodecane, eudecane, dodecane, tridecane, like that. So further, as the molecular weight increases, their physical constant like boiling point and melting point are increases. Friends, as the molecular weight increases, means number of carbon increases. So what will happen? Size of the organic molecule or alkanes will get increased. As the size increases, the van der Waals forces that depends upon the surface of the molecule, that van der Waals forces of attraction will get increased. As the attraction forces increases, their physical constant are also increases. So energy required to separate these molecules, that will be increased as attractive forces increases. So there is a molecular weight increases, so boiling point and melting point are increases. Like ethane has more boiling point and melting point than methane, because increase in number of carbons, increase in size of the alkanes. Friends, this increase in melting points and boiling points are in some sequence manner that per carbon almost 20 to 30 degrees Celsius increase in physical constant. That is approximate with some exceptions. That exceptions in terms of melting point only. Boiling point are increases with sequence, like per carbon 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, that will get increased. Next, as the branching increases, boiling point and melting point decreases. Friends, as the branching of the molecule increases, the boiling point and melting point decreases. Why so? See here. Suppose we have a butane. That is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Right. Another molecule, suppose same isomer, that is CH3, CH, CH3 and CH3. So this is N-butane and this one is isobutane. So the molecular formula is same, but as I said you, that is boiling point and melting point decreases as the branching increases. So increase in branch, so their boiling point and melting point decreases. Why this is so? See here. The surface area of the molecule. The surface area of the molecule is large, while as the branching increases, surface of the molecule decreases. Surface area of the molecule decreases. Molecule gets a spherical character. Spherical molecule. Molecule becomes spherical. As the molecule becomes spherical, their surface area decreases. Surface area decreases. As the surface area decreases, the van der Waals forces of attraction decreases. That's why boiling point and melting point decreases with branching. Particularly for this molecule and this molecule, boiling point is 0 degrees Celsius and boiling point of isobutane, it's minus 12 degrees Celsius. Friends, in physical properties, we don't need to remember the digits like 0 degrees Celsius or minus 12. Don't remember it. Just remember it. What are the sequences? Series. Suppose as the branching increases, melting point and boiling point decreases. So these trends you should remember or you should know. These are the physical properties, change in physical properties. Don't actually remember these words. Okay. मला पण ते आठवत नाही म्हणून मी बघून तुम्हाला सांगितले. Okay. Same for melting point. Minus 138 and here minus 159. So here, as the branching increases, it will get spherical character. As the spherical character increases, surface area of the molecule decreases. You can see is here also. So what will happen? Van der Waals forces of attraction within the molecules are decreases, and that's why boiling points and melting points of the molecule decreases. Friends, just now we saw that as the branching is increases, their melting point and boiling point decreases. Friends, This is valid for mostly boiling points. Melting points are not generally showing this type of characters because it has some exceptions. Because melting points is not only depends upon the size of the molecule, that depends upon the shape also, shape of the molecule also. As shape becomes more symmetrical, so it fits into proper crystalline lattice, so it required more energy to melt it. That's why melting point of the molecule will increase. So as the symmetry increases, as molecule becomes more fits into the crystal lattice, then energy required is more to melt that compound, and melting point of the molecule increases. While in case of boiling point, this trend is true. As the molecular size increases, boiling point increases. As the branching increases, boiling point decreases. See here, suppose these are the examples: N-pentane, isopentane and neopentane. If you look at the boiling points, as the branching increases, N-pentane, isopentane and neopentane, so branching is increases, so boiling point decreases. See here, 36, 28 and 9.5. While in case of melting point, it's not in proper order. See here, as N-pentane is minus 130, if isopentane, so branching is increased, surface area decreased, so boiling point is also decreased, that it becomes minus 160. But if it goes to the neopentane, then branching is again increased, because neopentane, the structure is like this: CCH3, CH3, CH3 and CH3. So branching is high, but that molecule becomes more symmetrical and fits into the crystalline lattice, so that melting point will be increased. See here, the melting point is minus 70. It is too much high than the N-pentane also. Even though N-pentane, the molecular size is large and it has a molecular size is very small, but it becomes more spherical. That's why melting point of the neopentane is higher than the N-pentane as well as isopentane also. Students, next physical property is solubility. Solubility means our alkanes are dissolved into some solvents, and according to that solubility, how that substances or alkanes are soluble or insoluble or partially soluble, that is called as solubility of our alkanes. So as per law, that is like dissolves like. Like dissolves like means polar compounds dissolves in polar solvents, while non-polar solvents dissolves in non-polar solvents. So by this rule, our hydrocarbons, that is alkanes, are soluble into non-polar solvents. Hydrocarbons are mostly non-polars. Hydrocarbons are non-polars. So that's why hydrocarbons, or suppose this is alkane chapter, so alkanes are dissolved into non-polar solvents like ether, carbon tetrachloride, benzene, carbon tetrachloride. So likewise, these are the non-polar solvents. So alkanes are dissolved into non-polar solvents but insoluble in water, because water is a polar solvent, its dielectric constant is very high. That's why alkanes are generally insoluble in water, because this is non-polar. So according to like dissolves like, alkanes are soluble into non-polar solvents like ether, CCl4 and benzene, but insoluble in water. Now next physical property we will learn, that is density. Density. So density means mass upon volume. Mass upon volume. Friends, in case of alkanes or hydrocarbons, those are contains only carbon and hydrogens. So atomic weight of carbons, atomic weight of hydrogens are very less as compared to the another atoms like oxygen, sulfur, halogens, nitrogens. That's why the density, so mass is less, volume is high, so density is very low. So density of the alkanes is around 0.8. It's never above 1. It's never above 1. So these are the lighter than water. Alkanes are lighter than water. वॉटर पेक्षा कशा असतात, हलक्या असतात अल्केन्स. समजा तुम्हाला एखादं सायक्लोहेक्झेन दिलं आणि वॉटर दिलं आणि एका बिकरमध्ये जर ट्रान्सफर केलं तर जी खालची लेअर येईल ना ती वॉटरची असेल आणि जी वरची येईल ना ती आपल्या अल्केनची असेल. कारण अल्केन कसे आहेत, हलके, ते वरती तरंगतील. वॉटर जड, दे आर इनसोल्युबल, ते सोल्युबल नाही आहे, त्याच्यावर मिक्स होणार नाही. 2 लेअर तयार करतील. खालची लेअर जो हेवी असेल ज्याची डेन्सिटी जास्त, वॉटर. वरची लेअर अल्केन्स, बिकॉज डेन्सिटी इज लेस, हलके असतात. सो लाइटर दॅन वॉटर. ॲज दे आर इमिसिबल, इनसोल्युबल टू इच अदर, they form the 2 different layers. Upper layer is alkanes, lower layer is water. So this is about density. Density never above 1. It's around 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. That is the density of alkanes. Friends, the industrial source, how these alkanes are obtained from large quantities, that is called as industrial source. So the main industrial source for alkane is petroleum. So petroleum, in this case, petra, these are the Latin words. Petra means rocks, that is khadak, and oleum, it's called as oil. So जे रॉक पासून आपण जे ऑइल मिळवतो त्याला काय म्हणतात, पेट्रोलियम. सो पेट्रा मीन्स रॉक, ऑलियम मीन्स ऑइल. सो पेट्रोलियम. सो मेन सोर्स ऑफ दिस alkanes is petroleum. So from petroleum we are getting like alkanes, higher alkanes, alkenes, benzene, naphthalenes, aromatic compounds like naphthalene. Most of the times we are getting aromatic compounds also. So these are the petroleum sources of the alkanes. From this one you can get the alkanes by some reactions, fractional distillations and all those things. Second is natural gases. So from natural gases, like as we know that methane, ethane, all these are gases. Propane, butane. So from the natural gases we are getting mostly these 4 alkanes because these are in a gaseous form. Our natural gas mostly contains propane, butane, isobutane, and marsh gas, that is contains methane, and we can get ethane also. So these are the natural gas sources. Third one is fractional distillation. Of petroleum compounds. fractional distillation of petroleum compounds. So in petroleum compounds there are so many organic compounds are there. So we have to do the fractional distillation. So according to their physical constants like melting points and boiling points, we can separate these alkanes. So apart from these alkanes, not only methane, ethane, propane and decane, but apart from this one, so many compounds, organic compounds we can get from the petroleum compounds by fractional distillation. This is the chart. So natural gas, which contains around C1 to C4, and that is predominantly CH4. The boiling point is 20. Then petroleum ether, that is 20 to 60 degrees Celsius. C5 to C6, industrial solvent, that can be used as an industrial solvent for extraction, also for reactions. Then ligrolin, that is light naphtha. So 60 to 100 degrees Celsius, that is C5 to C7. So it has a low polarity solvent, it can be used. Then natural gasoline, that is C5 to C10. So that can be used as a motor fuel like petrol and diesel. Then kerosene, the boiling point is around 175 to 325 degrees. Kerosene, C12 to C18. So it is a illumination and oil gas. It can be used as a fuel for fighter planes. Then lubricating oil, gas oils, so C12 and higher. Then asphalt, petroleum coke, non-volatile solids, that can be used as a petroleum jelly, paraffin oil, wax. तुम्ही जे थंडीच्या दिवसात वॅसलीन लावतात ते पण तुम्हाला इथे भेटतं पेट्रोलियम कंपाऊंडपासनं. So all these compounds like natural gases, petroleum ether, ligrolin, natural gasolines, kerosene, gas oils, lubricating oils, petroleum solids, these are you can obtain from the fractional distillation. That depends upon the boiling point range. So it has various uses in day-to-day life as well as industry. Friends, apart from industrial sources, alkanes can be synthesized into the laboratories by various chemical reactions. So laboratory preparations of alkanes. Now we'll see the laboratory preparations of alkanes. So there are so many chemical reactions, so many chemical methods to obtain the alkanes or to prepare the alkanes into the laboratory. मित्रांनो, केमिकल रिॲक्शनचा बऱ्याच मुलांना विद्यार्थ्यांना प्रॉब्लेम्स असतं की कशा लिहायच्यात. तर इथे तुम्हाला थोडाफार मेमरीचा भाग लागतो. तुम्ही ज्यावेळेस 11वी 12वी किंवा FYBCला येतात त्यावेळेस थोडं मेमरी थोडं लक्षात ठेवायचा प्रयत्न करा. समजा तुम्ही एखाद्या भेटलात तर एखाद्याला नाव विचारलं, तुम्ही फक्त नाव विचारता फक्त नावच विचारता असं काय, त्याचा शर्ट पण बघतात, त्याचा फेस बघतात. तर ह्या गोष्टी ऑब्झर्वेशनच्या असतात. हे ऑब्झर्वेशन करायचं आणि त्यात थोडं थोडं लक्षात ठेवायचा प्रयत्न करायचा की काही रिएजंट्स असतात, टिपिकल टाइप्स ऑफ रिएजंट्स असतात. सो दोज आर गिविंग टिपिकल टाइप ऑफ रिॲक्शन्स ओनली. सपोज रिड्युसिंग रिएजंट असेल तर काय हायड्रोजन ॲड करणार, तो प्रत्येक ठिकाणी हायड्रोजन ॲड करतो. तो रिएजंट बघितलं तुम्हाला कळायला पाहिजे की कुठेतरी हायड्रोजन ॲड करणार आहेत आपण, राईट. सो असं थोडंफार ऑब्झर्वेशन ठेवायचं आणि प्रॅक्टिसने तुम्हाला रिॲक्शन्स येतील. त्याच्यावर रिॲक्शनला घाबरायचं नाही, फक्त थोडी प्रॅक्टिस आणि थोडी अंडरस्टँडिंग करायचा प्रयत्न करायचा. जस्ट रिॲक्शन लिहिली, डोळे झाकून बघितले, सरांनी लिहिली, तुम्ही बघितली लिहिली किंवा पुस्तकात बघितली लिहिली असं करू नका. थोडं बघा, त्याचं ऑब्झर्वेशन्स करा की काय स्टार्टिंग असतो, काय रिएजंट असतं, काय प्रॉडक्ट असतं. ठराविक स्टार्टिंगवर ठराविक प्रॉडक्ट टाकला ठराविक स्टार्टिंगवर ठराविक रिएजंट टाकला तर तुम्हाला ठराविक प्रॉडक्ट मिळणारच. त्याप्रमाणे तुम्ही थोडंफार लक्ष देऊन रिॲक्शन्स बघा. सो दॅट इज मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट. नाउ फर्स्ट रिॲक्शन्स यू कॅन गेट by catalytic hydrogenation of the alkenes. So you can get alkanes. Second method is reduction of alkyl halides. So addition of hydrogens on the alkyl halides. So we will get the alkanes. Then Woods reaction. So this is the type of coupling of alkyl halides. Woods reaction. Then hydrolysis of Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent तुम्हाला माहिती आहे RMgX, त्याच्यावर जर तुम्ही वॉटर टाकलं सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ हायड्रॉलिसिस. देन यू कॅन गेट द अल्केन्स. Decarboxylation of fatty acids. As you know, the fatty acids means aliphatic कार्बोक्सिलिक ॲसिड्स आर कॉल्ड ॲज फॅटी ॲसिड्स. मग ॲसिडमध्ये कोणता ग्रुप असतो? सी डबल बॉन्ड ओ एच, तो निघून जातो. डी म्हणजे निघून जाणे, डी कार्बोक्सिलेशन ऑफ फॅटी ॲसिड्स. देन कोलब्रेज synthesis of the alkenes, so this is also decarboxylation reaction. So these are the 6 methods you can prepare alkenes into the laboratory. Now we will see one by one. Friends, first method is a catalytic hydrogen. Catalytic means in presence of metal catalyst. Hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen on the alkenes, of alkenes. So alkenes, the chapter we will learn next in next session. But you know the alkenes. Alkenes means the organic compounds which contains carbon-carbon double bond. So that is called as alkenes. So catalytic hydrogen means alkenes. See here, suppose alkene, if you are adding catalyst plus hydrogen, metal catalyst, so we will get alkane. We will get the alkanes. While writing the reactions, you should know the structure of the substrate as well as product. You should know the name of the substrate and product. For that purpose, make a habit that if I am writing the structure, you should write the name of that compound below itself. ती प्रॅक्टिस करा. म्हणजे तुम्हाला कधी कधी क्वेश्चन विचारतात लॅबमध्ये एक्झाममध्ये की हाऊ टू प्रिपेअर प्रोपेन फ्रॉम प्रोपीन. सो यू शुड नो द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ प्रोपेन, यू शुड नो द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ प्रोपीन, and you should know the structure of catalyst also. So likewise, for example, CH2 double bond CH2. So catalyst are like Rane nickel. So what will happen? Double bond is converted to the single bond and each hydrogen is added to the each carbon, double bonded carbon. बघा इथे चेंज काय होतं, इथे काय होतं CH2, इथे काय झालं CH3, इथे काय होतं CH2, इथे काय झालं CH3. डबल बॉन्डचं काय झालं सिंगल बॉन्ड. सो दिस ऑब्झर्वेशन यू शुड डू. नेक्स्ट, सपोज प्रोपीन CH3 CH डबल बॉन्ड CH2. सपोज राणे निकेल झालं, हायड्रोजन पॅलॅडियम, platinum, nickel. So these are the catalyst. So CH3 CH becomes CH2. बाकी कुठे ॲड करायचं नाही. आर ग्रुप इट्स ओके. अल्किन, इथं अल्किन आहे बघा. So this double bond becomes single bond and each carbon will get one hydrogen. So this becomes CH2 and this CH2 becomes CH3. So propene to propane. So this is what? Propene. And this one is propane. So how to get propane from propene? By catalytic hydrogenation. For example, CH3 CH double bond CH3. Hydrogen, suppose nickel, Rane nickel. Platinum also good source. Rane nickel is over. Now we'll take a platinum. So what will happen? CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3. So CH becomes CH2, CH becomes CH2, double bond becomes single bond. So this is called as catalytic hydrogenation. So butene, this is called as 2-butene. It converted to the butane. So likewise, you should remember the functional group. Functional group is alkene. So double bond becomes single bond. Remaining things you should write as it is. कुठे हायड्रोजन ॲड करायचं नाही, कुठे राणे निकेल पण ॲड करायचं नाही, प्लॅटिनम पण ॲड करायचं नाही. So these are small things you should learn by observation and by practice. So propene converted to the propane. See, this double bond becomes single bond and each carbon will get one hydrogen extra. So this is called as catalytic hydrogenation of alkenes. Friends, now we will learn reduction of alkyl halides. So last reaction was hydrogenation of alkenes. So hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen, right? So reduction is also addition of hydrogen. So hydrogenation can be called as reduction. So reduction of alkenes will give you alkanes. So in a similar manner, reduction of alkyl halides will give you alkanes. For example, we will learn. In short, alkyl halides on reacting with ZnCu, that is zinc copper, in presence of C2H5OH ethyl alcohol, we will get alkane plus HCl or HX, whatever that halide is there, right? So Rx on ZnCu C2H5OH will get alkane and HX. So in general mechanism, so what will happen? Suppose this is Zn copper mixture. If we are reacting with two molecules of C2H5OH, two molecules of ethyl alcohol, will give us Zn copper complex, that is C2H5O twice plus 2 nascent hydrogen, 2 nascent hydrogens, and these hydrogens are get added to alkyl halides and we will get alkane and hydrohalic acid as a byproduct. Don't worry about the byproduct, that will be very easy. Remember the product. For example, propyl chloride, see here, CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. Now this is called as propyl because this is propane, one hydrogen is replaced by Cl, propyl chloride. And if we have a two nascent hydrogen which are obtained by the catalyst, that is ZnCu C2H5OH, then we will get CH3, CH2, CH3. This Cl is replaced by one hydrogen, so that forms a HCl, while another hydrogen is added to this carbon, so CH2 become CH3. Halogen is replaced by the hydrogen and the byproduct is HCl. So we will get a propane as a product from propyl chloride. So propyl chloride on reaction with Zn copper in ethanol, so we'll get a product, that is propane. Next example, suppose we have a CH3 CH2 Br. What is the name? Ethyl bromide. If reacts with two nascent hydrogens in presence of Zn copper C2H5OH, we will get ethyl bromide to ethane CH3 CH3, that is ethane. So in this way, halides are replaced by the hydrogens, nascent hydrogens. So reductions means addition of hydrogen. So instead of bromine, halogen, either chlorine or bromine, there will be nascent hydrogen will come. So remaining R group remains as it is. So we will get ethyl bromide to ethane, propyl chloride to propane, butyl iodide to butane, in this way. The reagent is ZnCu ethanol, which gives us two nascent hydrogens. So now we will learn Wurtz reaction. So Woods reaction is a reaction of 2 moles of alkyl halide in presence of sodium metal. So what will happen? Those R groups forms a bond with each other, plus the byproducts are sodium salt of halides. So this is called as Woods reaction. So Woods reaction is very good method for the preparation of symmetrical alkanes. With even number of carbons. Woods reaction is very good method for the preparation of symmetrical alkanes having even number of carbons. For the formation of odd number carbon alkanes, this method is not that much good, because in that case we will get a mixture of products. Okay, now we'll see the for example. Suppose we have a methyl bromide. So 2 moles of methyl bromides are required, plus suppose this is another molecule of methyl bromide. So in this case what will happen? This Br, Na and Br forms a byproduct, and we are getting a product, that is CH3 forms a bond with this CH3. So CH3 plus 2 NaBr. So in this way, so methyl 1 carbon will ended with the 2 carbons product. So methyl bromide reacts with sodium, then we will get ethane. Suppose we have a ethyl bromide or ethyl chloride, we'll take example. CH3 CH2 chloride plus sodium plus CH2 CH3. This is also ethyl chloride. So we will get a product. So ethyl will combine with each other. So 2 carbons plus 2 carbons. The product will have 4 carbons, that is butane, plus 2 moles of NaCl. So in this way. So even number of carbons we will get in very good yield. If you are trying to prepare a synthesis of odd number of carbons, for example CH3Br plus Na, and we have another alkyl halide, for example, that is BrCH2CH3. What is this? Ethyl bromide, correct. Then what are the products are possible? It may possible that this methyl bromide combines with each other with this sodium. So product will be 2 carbon alkane. So 2 carbon alkanes means CH3 plus NaBr. So this product is also possible. Second possibility is what? These alkyl halide combine with each other. So we will get another product, that is CH2 CH3 plus NaBr. So in this case we will get butane. Third possibility is that if this one combines with this one, then 1 carbon plus 2 carbon, so 3 carbon product we will get CH3 CH2 and CH3. So in this case we will get a propane product. So if you are trying to synthesize a odd number of carbons, alkanes, then there are the mixture of products are possible. Ethane, butane and propane. That's why this is not a good method for the preparation of alkanes with odd number of carbons. Woods reaction is very good method for the preparation of symmetrical alkanes with even number of carbons. Woods reaction means alkyl halides are treated with alkali metals like sodium, then we will get these alkanes. Next method for the preparation of alkane is hydrolysis of Grignard reagent. Friends, as we know that Grignard reagent, that reagent is synthesized by the Grignard, the name of the scientist. He reacted alkyl halides, that is RX, with magnesium metal in presence of dry ether. Dry ether means in absence of moisture or water. So what will happen? There is a metallation of this alkyl halides. Metal will get inserted in between carbon and halide bond and we will get RMgX, and this is called as Grignard reagent. This is called as Grignard reagent. Alkyl halide with magnesium we will get RMgX. So that is called as Grignard reagent. These are moisture free reactions. Dry ether is a solvent. So on hydrolysis of this Grignard reagent we will get alkanes. For example, if RMgX, this is the Grignard reagent, if we are reacting with water, that is HOH in dry ether solvent, THF, dry ether solvent, diethyl ether, then what will happen? So there will be the hydrolysis reaction of the Grignard reagent and our product is R alkyl group will get hydrogen and forms a alkane. So we will get this alkane as a product. So whatever the R is there, that alkyl group is converted to alkane and byproduct is MgOHX. So this is the byproduct. For example, CH3MgX, methyl magnesium bromide. If we react with water, that is, then what will happen? This will get hydrolyzed and we will get CH3H. CH3H means methane. So in presence of dry ether, we will get, in presence of dry ether or water, no problem because water is a reagent also. So what will happen? We will get CH4, the methane molecule, as a product. Methane molecule as a product. Here you are using water as a solvent, so no problem. You can, there is no need of dry ether. So in this way, alkyl magnesium halides, that is Grignard reagent, on hydrolysis, addition of water, we will get alkane and MgOHX as a byproduct. So for example, methyl magnesium chloride, suppose methyl magnesium halide, here IX, okay, then what will happen? We will get the methane as a product. We will take one more example. For example, CH3CH, here is Mg, and suppose this is Br, CH3. Now this is what? isopropyl magnesium bromide. If we are reacting with water, see here, water. So what will happen? Carbon magnesium bond will break and there will be the hydrogen. Remember, because carbon magnesium, this bond will break. So don't तुम्ही काय करता, सिमिलराइज करायला जातात, इथेच हायड्रोजन लिहून टाकाल, असं काही करायचं नाही. जिथे मॅग्नेशियम होतं बघा, या कार्बनला मॅग्नेशियम आहे, तर हा बॉन्ड ब्रेक होईल आणि तुम्हाला काय भेटेल, हायड्रोजन कुठे लागेल, इथे लागेल. सो युअर प्रॉडक्ट विल बी CH3 CH2 CH3. So propane, will get propane as a product and byproduct is MgOH(X). So this is what hydrolysis of Grignard reagent. You can get alkanes. Whatever the alkyl group is there, that alkyl group is converted to the alkanes by hydrolysis of Grignard reagent. Friends, next method of laboratory synthesis of the alkanes is decarboxylation of fatty acids. D means निघून जाणे, रिमूव्ह करणे, कार्बॉक्सिलेशन. सो कार्बॉक्सिल ग्रुप आपला रिमूव्ह होतो कशामधून, फॅटी ॲसिड्स. फॅटी ॲसिड्स मीन्स aliphatic carboxylic acids like R, C double bond O, OH. So R is a alkyl group, long chain alkyl groups or alkyl groups. So these are called as carboxylic acid group. So decarboxylation. So what will happen? This carboxyl group will leave and we will get this alkyl. So one carbon less alkane we will get because one carbon will remove as a CO2, right? So decarboxylation of fatty acids. So for that purpose we have to react with our fatty acid, sodium salt of fatty acid. So this acid in the form of salt. So H is replaced by alkali metal, for example sodium or potassium. So this is the sodium salt of carboxylic acid, fatty acid, in presence of alkali hydroxide and calcium carbonate. If you are hitting this sodium salt of carboxylic acid in presence of sodium hydroxide and calcium carbonate, so what will happen? This group will live as a carbonate and we will get alkane. So we will get RH alkane plus Na2CO3. Na2CO3. So sodium carbonate is a byproduct. For example, we have a methyl here. So the name of this compound is sodium acetate. This 2-carbon carboxylate group is called as acetate. So this name is sodium acetate. Sodium acetate. The name of this molecule is sodium acetate. 2-carbon carboxylate group is called as acetate. If we are reacting with NaOH, calcium carbonate, then what will happen? This group will leave and this methyl forms a alkane. So your product will be CH4, that is methane, plus Na2CO3. Na2CO3. One more example. Suppose CH3 CH2 COOK. Okay, now this is what? Potassium salt of propanoic acid. This is propanoic acid, 3 carbons, right? So potassium propanoate. The name of this molecule is potassium propanoate. If you are reacting with sodium hydroxide and calcium carbonate. Then what we will get is CH3, CH2. See here, these two carbons will form the alkanes while this will leave. So we will get CH3, CH3 plus Na2CO3. So in this case we will get ethane as a product, in this case we will get methane as a product, in this case alkane. So in this way, that is a decarboxylation of fatty acids. If you are heating a sodium or potassium salt of carboxylic acid in presence of alkali hydroxide and calcium carbonate, we will get this alkane. Friends, now this is the last method of this preparation, laboratory preparation of alkanes, that is Kolbe's synthesis of alkanes. So this method is given by the scientist, the name is Kolbe. That's why this name is Kolbe's method of synthesis of alkanes. So this is decarboxylative dimerization of carboxylic acids. So friends, this is decarboxylative dimerization of carboxylic acid. So starting material is carboxylic acid. D means निघून जाणे. So in this case also decarboxylative, carboxylic carbon निघून जातो. Dimerization. So two molecules comes with each other and forms a bigger molecule, that is called as dimerization. So in this case, two carboxylic acids comes together to form a alkane with decarboxylation method. For example, see here, R C double bond O minus. So this is the carboxylate ion. Second molecule, that is O minus, C double bond O R. Right. So in this case, two molecules of CO2, in this case, two molecules of CO2 will leave. Minus means byproduct. तो तुम्ही तिकडे पण लिहू शकतात, इथे पण मायनस चिन्ह लिहू शकतात, काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही. And what will happen here? So which are those CO2s? So these are those CO2s. हा एक CO2 and this one is CO2. So what will happen? This R and this R will get combined to each other, forms a alkane. So R forms a bond with this R. There is a release of 2 electrons also, and we will get this alkane. So 2 moles, बघा 2 molecule, एकच compound आहे पण त्याचे 2 molecule combines with each other, formation of dimer with decarboxylation, म्हणजे carboxyl group निघून जातो. Okay, this reaction goes via radical formation mechanism. Okay, so this is just a decarboxylative dimerization of carboxylic acids to form alkanes. Now tell me, suppose we have these 2 molecules of acetate ion. So this is called as acetate ion. Okay, then what are the products? So what will happen? Decarboxylation. So this group will leave, and 2 molecules of methyls. So methyl will get combined each other and we will get a product, that is ethane plus 2 moles of CO2 as a product. Okay, so in this way, this is the decarboxylation and this will form a dimer, that is CH3 forms a bond with this CH3, we will get ethane as a product.
So this is also a good method for the preparation of symmetrical alkanes with even number of carbons, while this is very bad for preparation of unsymmetrical alkanes with odd number of carbons, because there are chances of formation of self dimerization, intermolecular dimerization as well as intramolecular dimerizations. So there are the possibility of formation of multiple products. So the isolation and separations of these products will be difficult. So in this way we have learned about 6 methods of preparation of alkanes from various methods. So practice it. Reactions, what are the startings, what are the reagents, and what are the products. Thank you friends.